when the Prime Minister said it was 1,000,000 to 1 against no deal, some of us had doubts. And I would agree with the Right Honourable Member for Leeds Central when he wrote that it was utterly irresponsible for this government to be rushing towards no deal if it were true. So now the Prime Minister has produced a deal. Surely all of those here against no deal can come together to support it. But in fact, too many members will never support leaving, despite the pledge they were elected on. They want a second referendum to overturn the original one, and the leader of the Liberal Democrats goes further. She would not accept the wrong result of a second referendum. So contrary to what some people argue, a second referendum will not bring us together. We cannot trust the opposition parties to carry out the results of a referendum that go the wrong way any more than they have so far. Now, some say there is not enough time to debate the bill. My friend, the Right Honourable Member for Penrith and the Borders, says he wishes there were 3 days more to debate it. But as the Institute for Government has said, there are some for whom no amount of debate will be enough. Then there is the Leader of the Opposition, who said that his greatest worry is the serious threat for manufacturing from not being in a customs union. So he should support both the second reading and the programme motion, table an amendment at committee stage, and if that didn't work, put it in their manifesto, campaign on it in an election, form the next government and negotiate that in the free trade agreement. The point, Mr. Speaker, is that the customs union, let alone the NHS, has nothing to do with the EU withdrawal agreement bill. And frankly, the manufacturers I know are a lot more concerned about what the Leader of the Opposition and the Shadow Chancellor will do to them than this deal. So, there are changes on the Northern Ireland Protocol which are very relevant, but because they're internal between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, they can be resolved between us. And that is why it is so important that the Democratic Union Party do support a deal in order to make sure they don't get the worst possible result for Northern Ireland, which would be no deal. So let our constituents be clear. There will never be a perfect deal any more than a perfect job or a perfect marriage. I said 3 years ago that we need a deal that few will love, but most of us could live with. And there is enough in the political declaration to reassure those who are open to be reassured on environmental and workers' rights, enough to respect the Good Friday Agreement, and enough to reassure all of those elected to respect the result of the referendum that we are delivering the pledge that what you decide, we will implement. And that, Mr. Speaker, is why all of us should leave the EU in a sensible way and vote for this bill.